feel like we're both a little like we've done a lot the last 2 days.
Yeah, it's been really busy here. I
Been
A lot of
busy.
festivities here at the Perler household. How about you?
Are you with your mom and dad?
I'm not. No, so I'm just with the girlfriend this week. I had dinner with them on or lunch with them on Christmas Eve, which was nice.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, it was really good. But we've just been watching a
Yeah.
lot of Christmas movies here, eating like, really comfy food, baked mac and
Yeah.
cheese, ribs, stuffing, mashed
Yeah.
potatoes. We have so much like leftovers. I've just been eating it nonstop. So, it's
Nice.
been fun. Yeah,
Yeah, breaking diet rules
exactly.
and loving it.
Totally.
Yeah, I had some cigarettes yesterday. So today I'm gonna buy a pack of cigarettes, and it was awful.
Hmm.
I felt like crap, and I loved it.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
quit smoking a while ago, right? You just
Yeah.
smoke every once in a while now.
Yeah.
Mm. I smoked a bit in college, and I every once in a while I'll get a whiff, and I'll be like, "Oh, that would be good," but I never fell back into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the holidays, I think it's nostalgic for me.
Mm.
But so I kind of wanted to talk about faith and just kind of get your opinion on faith because it is Hanukkah, which I've been
Yeah.
celebrating, and man, Hanukkah is so cool. Um, and it's nice to bring everybody together and like say that how much you love them, and I really love you, and I know the feeling's mutual, and it's just nice to feel that. I think Hanukkah and Christmas bring that out like more so than usual.
Yeah.
But like so I kind of, it's not like I have a crisis of faith, but I think we both think of Jesus as this very unconditionally loving and accepting person. And I think a lot of people think that way about Jesus. And I'm someone who, for the record, like for the last 3 or 4 years, has been a big proponent of that notion of Jesus, that God is love, or and and um and so kind of like I've been reading the Jefferson Bible, and I guess it makes me feel like Jesus is not who people think he is, or at least what I thought Jesus was. So he says some wonderful things, and I have my little Kindle here,
Mm-hmm.
the Jefferson Bible, and the Jefferson Bible, for those who don't know, is just straight up quotations of Jesus. That's his teachings, and so I think that this is important just in terms of maybe understanding what my faith means to me, or what I believe in. So he says, "Think not that I come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill," which is really nice because, it means that he's not here to destroy anybody. And so here's kind of like the big points here that he says. And seeing the multitudes, he went up into a mountain, and when he was set, his disciples came unto him, and he opened his mouth and taught them, saying, Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are they that mourn, for they shall be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Blessed are they which do hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be filled. I like that one, because it means justice prevails. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God. That's like, be nice to people. Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are ye when man shall revile you and persecute you, and shall say all manner. So we get the point there. I like all of that for the most part. But then there's like a second half to it. It's like as if it's like this side of the tablet exists, but then there's a second part of it, which is kind of like weird.
Mm.
Um,
When did you start reading into this Jefferson Bible, and what made you want to get into this?
Basically, I really believe in like love and kindness unconditionally, or I want to try to be a better person, and I think Jesus is like considered one of the pinnacles of like how to live a good, nice
Mm-hmm.
life. That's how to be a good person, basically something that interests me. Um, so then there's like the second part, which is, but woe unto you that are rich, for ye have received your consolation. Woe unto you that are full, for you shall hunger. Woe unto you that laugh now, for ye shall mourn and weep. Woe unto you when all men shall speak well of you, for so did their fathers to the false prophets. So it's like if you believe in something other than Jesus, like woe unto you. He says something here. Um, and then then it gets really weird. Like it gets like really specific.
Mm.
Um, For I say unto you that except your righteousness shall exceed the righteousness of the scribes and Pharisees, uh, I'll skip to here. But I say unto you that whosoever is angry with his brother without a cause shall be in danger of the judgment. And whosoever shall say to his brother Raca shall be in danger of the council. But whosoever shall say, You fool, thou fool, shall be in danger of hellfire. So Jesus is basically saying, like, if you say some shit like you're an idiot, if you say somebody's a fool,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to hell.
Mm.
Um, and then there's also, ye have heard that it was said by them of old time, Thou shalt not commit adultery. But I say unto you that whosoever looketh on a woman to lust after her hath committed adultery with her already in his heart. So just by
Mm.
like wanting to have sex with someone, you commit adultery. Like this is not my view of God at all.
Yeah. But do you think
Yeah.
that also could have been lost in translation, kind of thing? Like maybe that's not actually what was trying to be pointed across, or because that seems like really, I don't know, it seems odd. But religion
It
is
seems
odd.
kind of like authoritarian.
Yeah. I never connected with religion. Maybe it was because I was like forced into it, like going to Hebrew school and stuff, and I didn't really want
Yeah.
to be there, so I kind of associated religion and Judaism with something that I didn't like and something that I didn't want to be a part of because
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather be at home doing something else or out with friends. And we talked about actually, I think on the episode with Kim Kurzan, how like I associated books with bad because teachers forced it upon me. So
Mm-hmm.
there's that pattern in my life where if you're going to force something upon me, I'm going to wind up hating it, rejecting it, and doing the opposite of what you say. So
Mm-hmm.
I would assume most people are kind of like that. Um,
Yeah, makes sense.
but it's a big thing for me. A lot of people grow up with religion, they stay religious throughout their life, but for me, it never resonated with me. It felt too detached from reality. And I even recognized that when I was younger, that like these stories mean nothing. Like Moses parting the sea, like it's this weird story that I looked around the room like, why is everyone buying this bullshit? Like, are you guys stupid? Like, I really
Mm.
thought that, and it's wrong because they wrong me to think that because that's their faith, that's what they believe in. But I was a very
It
cynical
also
kid.
puts you at a higher, thinking that you're better and smarter than the whole room.
Yeah, yeah, for
Lucky
sure.
you.
Right? Little me sitting there like, what a bunch of fools.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jesus wouldn't have
Yeah.
liked me as I'm calling everyone
Yeah,
fools
I did.
around
I
me.
did that
Yeah,
too. Yeah.
yeah. I do so. I grew up very Jewish household. Do people believe that Jesus was a real person, or is he just a character in the story of the Bible?
I think he's a real person and he's going to come back and,
Mm-hmm.
save us again.
And who believes? Do the majority of people believe that Jesus will return, or is that something that
Yeah.
Okay.
It's written.
Mm-hmm. Do you believe that?
I don't even believe in Jesus anymore.
Is a real person or?
For like the last 3 years, I had this concept of Jesus, and it was like what I thought God was. I mean, it's what I know God is. Like, I can feel God right now. I know that He's love, and that is to me like so much more real than this fucking book that I'm reading.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm reading this book and going, this is ugly.
Mm.
This like is out to hurt people or control people, or it's not letting people express themselves for whoever they are, whoever they want to be.
Mm.
It seems like it's doing damage. This book, um, and so that's just not my concept of love or God at all.
Mm. So where do you, for you as an individual, where do you find your faith now? And where do you find your? Everyone has to have some sort. I feel like whether we say it or believe it or not, we all have something inside of us that is some sort of faith or religion that we've built on our own inside of us. For
Hmm.
you, what is that to you?
I think it's love, and it's just something that I'm in touch with. Like, maybe I think being an artist has helped me be more in touch with it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's that mystery, transcendental spirit realm that we can access when I'm writing or just doing something that I love to do. When I'm being like a good person,
Hmm.
yeah.
See, I think I,
What do you
I
think?
I kind of have a weird opposite thing where I think that the world is inherently evil, and I think
Hmm.
that like people are put into it to challenge it potentially, and I think we are not. I think we're like opposite, magnets bouncing back from each other when humans arrived on this planet. And I think that there's inherent evil here that lurks here and that takes upon weaker minded people and consumes them. And I think that life is just a constant battle of fighting that evil darkness that looms around us constantly. And I think it's always good to be cautious of who you surround yourself with. You know, you don't
Hmm.
know who got bit in a weird way. It's like, it's a very gloomy and kind of depressing way to look at things, but I truly believe humans potentially and our planet and everything around us is inherently evil, not in the best interest of the soul. And I think it's a human's journey to battle against that and to fight against that and discover who they truly are. And then once you discover who you truly are, you open up a gateway. And I think you open up a gateway to a pathway to enlightenment. Yeah.
That sounds nice.
First part, not so nice. Second part, nice. Once you open up the gate, everything
Yeah.
is nice and
Yeah, you get
shiny.
through the gate.
Yeah, I feel like I've been in the process, and it's not like you open a gate overnight. I think
Hmm.
you have to go on quests to find the keys to unlock the gate. You have to do all these things to get there, and I feel like I'm finding my keys right now to open the gate, and I feel like I know which directions I need to be going in to find the keys.
It's a quest.
It's a quest. It's a quest. And that's why
Hmm.
might be narcissist of me, but like I feel bad for people that aren't on that journey and they're
Hmm.
just complacent in life and they're just happy with where they are. I feel like they're letting evil consume them in some way.
Yeah, I've noticed that there are people like that. They just kind of sit still in life, right?
I don't blame them though either, because life is kind of, this shit ain't easy. We're fighting invisible demons all the time. If you believe what I say, like I don't know. It's weird stuff, man. Um, I would never like really chastise someone like truly like for just being complacent in life and just kind of just being, you know, not a go-getter. If you're not a go-getter, fine. If you're not like trying to fight against the evil and unlock your gateway to enlightenment, I'm not going to judge you for that. But I do think that I think your life experience could be a little bit more interesting if you do. If you do try to go
It's
towards that.
curiosity.
Yeah. Curiosity is so important. I mean, I don't know. There's not much meaning to life if you're not curious. You know, our last episode, like, people would, what we did, we talked about UFOs and aliens, and I had some people come up to me, and friends of mine, and they said that, man, you're really into that stuff. I don't get it. I'm like, I'm just a curious guy. I mean, if you put Sasquatches in front of me, I'll be curious about that too. If you put like JFK assassination, I'll be curious about that. If you put, you know, how to make key lime
Do they
pie,
get learning? Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just
Or do they get learning only from things that are acceptable?
maybe.
Things that are said, this is okay to think about, then they're okay with thinking about those things.
Yeah.
But if it's something that's not sanctioned by they,
Mm-hmm.
then they don't get it.
Boggles my mind. I don't get why you. I don't know. I would love to talk to someone who's not interested in aliens, who like just doesn't care or isn't
Is my
interested.
camera
Yeah,
okay?
you look great. I would be curious to talk to
Thanks.
someone that just doesn't give a shit. I want to know why they don't care, how they got to the point in life where they don't care. Maybe they achieved their own enlightenment? Maybe they like don't need to worry about those things or think about those things. They've reached such a solitude and comfort in life that why be curious? I've achieved something greater. That might be why.
Wrong.
No?
I'm going to know everything and be certain that I know everything,
Mm-hmm.
and that's going to make me comfortable, and I'm never going to have to worry again. It's not true.
Mm.
I can see why people would think that. I'm going to be comfortable in my belief systems and know they're true, but it doesn't work.
No, it doesn't. No. I'm just trying to make sense out of it because I don't get it. Do you remember like the first time when you were younger, like when you were like had kind of like an epiphany or like one of those deep thought moments?
Mm-hmm.
What was that like? What were you thinking about?
Gee willikers.
Go back in time.
I don't know. I was like a kid, and then I realized that I could start thinking
Hmm.
and like questioning things. It was kind of like a snap epiphany moment,
The kid that asks a lot of
and
questions.
then the world was never the same.
Mm-hmm.
It added a new dimension. One of them was, I remember I had learned to lie when I was like 3 years old. And so whenever I would smack my brother in the head, as big brothers are wont to do because they don't like that little brother even exists, and or little brother would smack me, and then I'd smack him harder because I was bigger,
Mm-hmm.
and then little brother would start crying, and I had learned that trick, which was like I can lie, and the nannies didn't realize that I learned the trick, and Cooper was so dumb because he was a little kid, he didn't know really understand. He was so he didn't understand how to lie.
Mm-hmm.
So for like 6 weeks or however long, I was like, just, I couldn't be blamed. Kids are really
Wow.
selfish like that, I think. Like babies don't care about morality. They just like, if they can get away with it, they will.
It's a
And there's no
superpower.
concept of like, there's no concept of right or wrong for like little ones
Yeah.
at that age. And like if it serves them, then it's good. But I remember one day Cooper looked at the at the nanny, or my brother. He looked at the nanny and he was like, "No, I didn't do it. He lied. He did my trick, and he lied. He had hit me, and then he said he didn't do it." And my world just crushed because I realized that like, my brother was learning,
Mm.
and the world was never the same. I couldn't trick him anymore. But that's a little bit different than this like adult, like this epiphany that you can like think
I don't think
freely, right?
so.
Is that what you're
Well, I
thinking?
think on a smaller scale, the younger mindset, I think that's just the same. I think
Yeah.
you realize that you could unlock something. You unlocked a new
Right.
skill, like in a video
Yeah,
game.
I remember there was a moment where I just realized I could think about things, like question things.
Mm-hmm.
But it's hard to describe to the audience and to you because it's just
Yeah.
like it's not something that you can really, it's hard to describe.
Yeah, it is. I I don't even know if I could pinpoint what mine would be. I think mine is probably similar. I think the first time that you learn how to lie and you realize that you could kind of manipulate reality in a way. You can manipulate the timeline that you're in to make someone believe something that isn't true. I think
Hmm.
for most kids, they would probably say lying too. That makes most sense because it's the first time that
Hmm.
you figured out a tool to manipulate an adult. Whoa.
I think it's different though because at that age, kids don't like literally the brain is just very different than we are now,
Mm-hmm.
which is like we have a sense of right and wrong in a way that babies just don't really have.
True. Yeah. Mm.
But yeah, manipulating the world around you is interesting.
Yeah.
Like being nice, anyways,
Mm. Any Christmas memories
being
for you
nice
when
to,
you're a little boy?
yeah. I have a very vivid memory of like one of the most vivid memories I have ever is from Christmas time. And it was, it was, I wanted to open up. I always waited for Santa, and then I woke up, and my dad was at the sitting at the tree, and my mom was sitting next to my dad, and I was opening presents, and I could smell the scent of pine from the tree,
Mm-hmm.
and we were all in our bedrooms, and it's the best memory, one of the best memories. So for me, like Christmas has always been tied to like materialism, like gifts, and I can imagine a kid who like grew up with like family values is like that's then they grow up and they're nostalgic for being near family. For me, I grew up and I'm nostalgic for like having the coolest Xbox
Mm-hmm.
or the best computer. And like I'm not like a very materialistic person in general, but like um, to this day, like I feel like Christmas is so much better when I treat myself to a nice thing.
Totally.
So that for me is like what Christmas to me is friends and family, but also like getting the dopest present.
Mm. Do you remember like one present you
What?
got when you were little that like absolutely blew your mind?
Yeah, it was like a $3,700 Alienware laptop,
Mm.
and it was bright green. And I would take it to school, and it was so like these gaming computers, like the real gaming computers, they have these huge fans,
Yeah.
so they go, and I would just sit that puppy on my desk, and the back of it, like the laptop screen on the back of it, would be this giant alien with blue eyes, just staring at whoever would look at it,
Mm-hmm.
and making the loudest noise. And then I had like this like little keychain thing, this like little, it was this thing that would connect to the laptop, and then I would wrap it around the desk, and it would basically stop theft.
Mm.
So I could leave like my computer at the desk, so and make sure and be sure that nobody would. I was like at a private school. I don't know who would steal this thing. It was such a fucking ridiculous image that I have in my head, but everybody loved it, which mattered to me as a 13-year-old. I think it still a little matters to me now, but everybody loved it, and I fucking loved that computer. I played like Counter Strike on it. I used it. I really did. Like I played all the video games, and
Oh yeah.
whew, What about you?
Yeah.
Did you get gifts?
Yeah. So,
Or what does Hanukkah and what does Christmas mean to you?
well, for me, Hanukkah is when I think of Hanukkah, I think of my old house that I grew up in. I think of like a
Yeah.
cold, you know, winter day. We have the fireplace going. The house is warm. The lights are warm. We're lighting a candle. We're saying the prayers. And then my parents would go grab our presents. My brother and I would stay in the living room. They would go grab presents. And then we would just rip them open. And I remember I think it was for Hanukkah that I was really into WWE when I was younger. And I I collected the action figures of the wrestlers, and
Yeah.
there was one figure that I really wanted, and it was his wrestling name was Hornswoggle, and he was a little leprechaun. He was a little short guy, and we looked everywhere: Walmart, Target, couldn't find it.
What do you mean we?
My mom and
You
I,
looked with your
yeah,
parents?
my mom and I, we would go on adventures
Yeah.
trying to look for Hornswoggle.
Yeah.
And then one day we walked into a Walmart, and we're in the WWE action figure aisle. And this guy comes up to us, and he's like, "Hey, come over here." He worked at the store. He was like a Walmart employee. Come over here. He pulls my mom and I aside. He's like, "Hey, listen, I got stuff in my trunk. I got some like really good WWE stuff." And my mom and I are like, "Okay, this guy's gonna fucking murder us." But we go to his car, and he pulls out some like rare WWE figures, and he's basically doing a drug deal, but for WWE
Yeah.
figures to a little Jewish kid and his mom.
He
And
probably like stole from the Walmart store.
maybe that wouldn't surprise
Who
me. Yeah,
knows?
but he didn't have Hornswoggle though, as far as I was aware. But my mom and him exchanged phone numbers, and we said, if you ever get Hornswoggle, let us know. We don't hear anything, or at least I don't. Hanukkah comes around. I get all my gifts, everything's great, and then my mom says there's one more gift. My mom got a call at like 2 a.m. from this guy at Walmart saying, "Listen, I got a Hornswoggle. I got a Hornswoggle. If you meet me in the parking lot in 30 minutes, I'll get it to you." And I got my Hornswoggle. It was like I did like a little Irish step dance. I was so excited. I was like on top of the world because it was like the one thing that I really
Wow.
wanted. And this weird guy from Walmart came in clutch, and he hooked me up.
That was really well told.
Thanks, man. It's a funny story because I'm not joking. He really called my mom really late at night, and he's like, "I got Hornswoggle." I'm like, she's like, "I'm going to bed. Can we talk in the morning?" Yeah. Just I want to let you know I got it. He was like so excited, so amped to tell my mom.
Oh, that's nice.
But yeah, and I got Hornswoggle. I was so happy.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Was he bald? Did he have like was he
He was odd looking.
did he have like
He looked like
his odd looking
he.
fellow, right?
I think he was like balding on the top, but he had really long, wispy hair in the back, like kind of like a stereotypical like action figure
Creepy
nerd.
guy.
Yeah, like
Okay.
nice guy. I mean, he hooked us up. I can't talk too much shit. He really hooked us up.
Yeah, I'm not judging him at all.
Yeah, it was really nice of him.
Good for him.
Yeah, how he got those action figures, I don't know. Why were they in the trunk of his car? I don't know. He probably stole them. He was probably like, I can make some bang for my buck on eBay with these. No one at Walmart's gonna notice.
Maybe he had first dibs. Maybe he bought it himself right when
That's
they come
possible.
onto the rack,
Yeah.
and then sells them for a higher price to
Yeah.
customers.
Yeah.
Good business
Yeah.
model.
Very funny.
My wife's aunt worked at Neiman Marcus, and she like loved, like she would get discounts, and so she would put something that she loved like in a place where nobody would look, in a rack that in the middle, this gorgeous dress that everybody wanted, she put it in some shitty place that nobody looked, and she'd wait for it to become discounted, and then she'd put her employee discount on it as well and buy it.
That's amazing.
People do that.
Yeah,
They
I
find
did
ways
that.
to game the system.
I didn't work there, but I was shopping during my WWE phase. There was one action figure that I really wanted, but my mom wouldn't buy it for me. So if you remember, like in like Targets or stuff, like on the shelf, there's like a panel at the bottom. It's like a little platform. it was like a cardboard platform, and I moved the cardboard and stuffed it under there. And then I think in the
Yeah,
future, when we came back, I checked under there, it was there, and I wound up buying it later.
because you couldn't buy
I
it
couldn't buy
then.
it at the first time.
It's funny.
Yeah. I loved action
So it
figures,
sounds like
so
Hanukkah is about toys and stuff for you too.
it was about getting something that I wanted all year. Just this waiting for this moment.
Yeah.
And I watched Santa Claus, the new Disney, like the Tim Allen series of Santa Claus movies. They made a Disney Plus like limited run series, a new one now that he's older, and
Mm-hmm.
it was this whole idea. Without, I'm not really spoiling anything. Everyone should watch it. It was actually really
Mm.
enjoyable. But
Mm-hmm.
the whole plot was that like this Jeff Bezos kind of guy comes in and he's about to be the new Santa Claus, and because in the film the Santa Claus can regenerate into another person, and
Mm.
he is about to like clasp on to his transition to Santahood, and
Mm-hmm.
before he's able to, he basically makes Christmas every day, where kids get their toys delivered to them instantly. The whole charm of Christmas is just ruined because you could get anything whenever
Right.
you want instantly.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of makes sense. I mean, that's kind of the way it is now with like Amazon and, instant gratification with whatever. But when I was younger, you would make that list and you'd think about it all year. You'd think,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna get this, I'm gonna get this, that, the other. You know, that's what we all looked forward to when we were little, just waiting for that one day. Or the 8 days.
I think it can still be the same because it's like I'm not going to get my child
Yeah.
the best thing. I will tell him to make it special.
Mm-hmm.
Wait for Christmas till if you want that X-Men number 23 or whatever, like wait till
I
Christmas
think
because
most,
it's a
yeah.
it's a reason to splurge. Like
Yeah.
people can't afford to just buy their kids like
No.
whatever they want all the time.
No. And I think it's still mostly that way, but I could see us heading in a direction where eventually it's like instant gratification is just so normal. Like if Amazon or whatever figures out a way to get you things so quickly and maybe more affordably, like I don't think it's that far fetched.
There was a period in my life where I was getting toys or going to Toys R Us every single day.
Mm.
And it was the fucking best. I did not get bored of it.
Mm.
Every day, my friend would come over. We're gonna go to Toys R Us. So
Wow.
I don't know. Kids like that
When I
shit.
went to Toys R Us, my mom would it would be my birthday or something. I'd say, let's go to Toys R Us. I would walk through the aisles and I wouldn't walk out with anything because I was just so overwhelmed with how many things were in the store that I just couldn't make up my mind.
Yeah.
So I'd wind up walking out with nothing. And I wouldn't be upset or sad or anything. It was just like, I couldn't make a decision. I'm overwhelmed. I don't know what to pick.
Because your mom is like maybe overwhelmed, and then you're getting overwhelmed.
Maybe she wanted me to buy something. She was like, just pick something. Just pick
She did?
something. I'm like, I
Yeah,
don't
but
know.
that's freaking you out. You're like,
I don't
you
know.
think you were just naturally like a overwhelmed baby.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I grew up with
Yeah,
a neurotic
that's so
Jewish
funny.
mother. I mean,
You're.
it's just a
I just
part of
like
the
to
process.
imagine a little neurotic Jewish boy like in Toys R Us, just like freaking out.
Exactly. Pulling my hair out. It was just overwhelming because there's
Yeah.
so many good toys, but I didn't want to buy one toy and be like, no, I don't like it. I should have gotten that one. I didn't want to have like the emotional burden later that I picked the wrong thing.
Yeah, I think I relate to that. Yeah,
But yeah.
it's tough being a kid, man.
Oh yeah. Fuck, man. We had it rough.
Yeah, I know we didn't,
No, we had it so good.
but I don't know. That's funny. So that it's just it sounds like it's like Toys R Us was like not always an enjoyable experience.
It was fun walking around. It was always fun. Have you ever been to did you ever get to go to the Times Square Toys R Us? The really big one.
No.
Okay, so
Mm-mm.
when I was younger and I was doing the child acting stuff and we would go into the city, and I'd always make a point to go to Toys R Us. And my dad worked, across the street in Times Square at the time. And that place was intense. That was like walking into a theme park. They had a big Ferris wheel in there, massive dinosaur animatronic, and every toy you could ever imagine was there. that was insane. Like being a kid and
Yeah,
walking into there, like I think all the Toys R Us chains are gone now. I think they're just in Macy's. Like they went bankrupt and then now I think Macy's bought them up and now in every Macy's there's going to be like a toy store section.
that's nice.
Yeah, it is
I
nice.
think that I think that being a kid was pretty awesome. I know that we
Yeah.
look at it through rosy glasses, but like now we're at the age like this is the best age I've ever been in because it's like I can be a kid again.
Mm.
And I think that nostalgia is back because of COVID
Mm-hmm.
and like collecting comic books, looking at Pokemon cards, watching like old anime. That stuff is like it's not like exactly like I'm a kid,
Mm-hmm.
but it's if I focus, if I get into that headspace, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Mm,
I've I'm like kind of like flip floppy about that. Like I wonder like is it okay and good to go into that mindset often? Like is there a limit that you should go into that mindset? Cuz like
hmm
I feel like if
Because you're like neglecting adulthood or
a
something.
little bit, I wonder if like
Hmm
I have that debate with myself like I smack myself out and like get back to work. Like quit
Yes, the
being a
guilt
fool.
and
Yeah.
yeah.
But I don't know.
I don't do guilt, but
Oh, well, I'm Jewish. That's
I
all we do.
do. I sometimes I can't help it. Yeah, but I do my best to not listen to it.
Yeah. I think moderation is good. And I don't think so structured
Mm.
moderation like, okay, from 3 to 5 I'm gonna be a kid. Like no, like just know, have I been being sucked into nostalgia too much lately? Do I need to reel it back? And then you just reel it back if you need to. Or if you've been too stuffy lately, do I need to like feed back into one of my
I mean,
things, you know?
are you happy? Like, why not let that be your compass?
I
Are you happy right now?
I am happy now. And I go back into that childlike mindset and go back to the things I used to love, whether it be like video games or collecting something.
Yeah.
When I'm
Or
feeling
are you learning? That's a good one too. Because sometimes
maybe
you're not always happy, but you're
I use it more of
learning.
a clutch when I notice things are starting to go a little down, and then it kind of brings me back
Mm,
up. And it might be like an artificial pick me up because it's like,
yeah.
or maybe not. I don't know if it is. It might not be, but I use it as kind of a pick me up. Just when I'm not feeling so hot, I just revert back to something that made me happy at one point when I was younger. I could rely on it. I
Yeah,
know
I
it
think that
worked.
we did that in this show.
Yeah.
We were talking about how the world is evil and how people are trying to
Our
get
video
through the
games episode.
gates.
Yeah.
And then we started talking about like Santa Claus or childhood and like we immediately were happier.
Did you
I think that's
did you
wonderful.
believe in Santa when you were younger?
I did.
Yeah. I did too.
Yeah.
I was very envious of you guys that Santa came to your house. I
Yeah.
felt so left out. That's why.
Yeah,
That's why I do this
I don't
now.
know.
With all now I have Santa behind me. I got the Christmas tree. That's why I'm dating a Catholic.
That's why
That's why.
for
So I
for
could celebrate
Christmas.
Christmas. Yeah.
But what you were talking about interests me is there a reason that you limit your time feeling like nostalgic or joy or accessing that child? Do you notice that your productivity goes down or do you notice that
Yeah.
like what it because there's got to be a purpose that it's serving, right? Like what purpose is it serving?
I have two tracks in life. Imagine two railway tracks going down a long, empty hallway. One track is pursuing my dreams as a creative, and then the other is pursuing happiness. And sometimes, and imagine they're sharing the same engine somehow, Bluetooth. One train, the happiness train, might speed up faster than the pursuing my creative dreams. And then I need, my goal is to find an equal basically to get them going at the same exact speed, moving in the same direction. And sometimes
Good.
the happiness one goes further, and sometimes the creative one goes further. And then but I need to get them back on the same track and get them moving at the same speed.
I love that so much. You're unifying the personalities or
Yeah, you
the
have to.
adventure. I don't even like that word personalities because that's a psychological thing, but you're
Goals, achievements, yeah.
unifying the yeah, you're unifying the stories.
Things that keep me moving as an individual, things that keep Brandon, chugging along. Like those two things are very important to me, and I think maintaining both at an equal speed is good. Is it is it possible 100% of the time? No, cuz the happiness one and pursuing, the things that made you happy as a kid, falling back into video games or whatever, like that might speed up and then you'd be like, okay, I got to reel this back. I got to match up with, the
Because
train
it's
across the
scary.
street.
It feels out of control, or
It feels like a runaway train. It feels like I've
yeah,
lost control and I've fallen into this motion that I don't recognize and that I don't like anymore. Because I want to be at the same pace as the other train. I don't want to be 50 miles ahead.
does
It feels
happiness scare
lonely
you?
a little bit. I, you and I think are kind of similar with this, where like if things are going too well in life, we're like, when is
Yeah,
shit gonna hit the fan next? When am I gonna get a
yeah,
nasty virus? When am I gonna, you know,
yeah.
having shitty
I have a
problems
funny
with?
story about
Yeah, go
that.
ahead.
Exactly what you're
Yeah.
talking about. I had my in-laws here
Mm,
for the holidays, and it's so wonderful. They hate each other's guts, but somehow we're all getting along,
that's good.
and it's just been a wonderful time with both of them. And I go to my neighbor's house, and I smoke some weed. And whenever I smoke weed, it just fucks my shit up. Like I have no emotional regulation.
Mm,
Like I can basically put myself in a positive mindset right now.
mm-hmm,
But so I smoked weed. My perspective is changing. I am seeing things almost as they maybe really are, but not even that. It's just that everything I'm doing is different. So I'm talking on my video games and I'm not talking at all. And then it's like me kind of like being in the world without my usual self being there. So the Marson who's so talkative isn't there. And so now what's the world like with this new neural pathway
mm,
that's so I was experiencing things in a totally different way, and I have my parents or my in-laws here, and I go, I'm really high right now, guys, and they're like 70 years old, and they go, what? She looks like this look of disgust on her face.
mm,
I go, yeah, I'm really high right now, and Anna's chastising me like a mother,
mm,
which I note is very interesting because she's pregnant and about to have a baby. And I go, yeah, it's okay to. She goes, I don't like it when you smoke. And I go, it's okay to not do things that you don't like. I'm very logical. And I go, it's so and I wasn't happy. And I the whole time I was thinking in a different way, but I was also going, can I be happy? Like, is it possible to put myself in a happy mindset while I'm high?
mm.
The answer was no, and it was so much fun just trying.
Experimenting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, experimenting, making mistakes.
Yeah. That's so interesting. I would be too nervous to get high around family members like that. That's that's
Yeah, it
daring.
wasn't planned.
Yeah.
It was just an impulsive bam, pipe, hit it.
Cause you,
That's
I don't
it. You're
know,
in.
when you're high, is it more? I don't know. I go into another world when I get high. I get pretty baked, but
Yeah, I don't
yeah.
smoke that much.
Okay. Yeah. When I get high, I need to go into the shower and just start traversing the lands of the multiverse.
Nice.
Yeah, I can't do that. I have moderation problems. If you introduce me to weed, I'm gonna smoke a shit ton of it. If you introduce me to a really good video game, I'm gonna play it a lot. Like I just fall so
You
deep.
don't have moderation problems.
A little bit. I don't know. Now you're making me question myself.
Oh no, that's not my intention.
No, Yeah,
I just feel like you are always talking about moderation in life. It's
it's.
impossible to get you on a video game for longer than an hour and a half.
I don't like most video games.
Yeah, you're very picky.
I'm very picky. But once I find something that I do like, I'm in. There's no going back, and I'll be all over it. And they come in little spurts. They're not like,
Seems to me
yeah,
like you're scared to get addicted to things after your Minecraft addiction,
yeah. After my video gaming addiction when I was
or
younger,
your
it
yeah.
was I get afraid of that for sure because it totally fucked me up. You know, lasting impact, irreversible. That like,
Yeah.
ugh, now I got to live with it. So like, I'm so scared to make that mistake again to find out what the next irreversible mistake would be. Eesh.
What happened that was so bad?
So with my video gaming addiction, I just wasn't eating much, and then when I finally did start eating, and I started getting back on,
Gandhi didn't eat.
well, that's Gandhi. I'm just a little nerdy boy playing video games. But once I started eating and I gaining weight, and I started growing very quickly, and it fucked up my back. I got scoliosis,
Oh
and
no.
so now I live with the scar of my mistakes
Are you
forever.
sure that that's what gave you scoliosis?
100%.
Oh wow. So that really did traumatize you.
Yeah, I have back pain every day. I'm in pain
Me too.
all the time. So everyone has chronic pain, but I could have probably prevented it. That's the part that like really bothers me, is that there's a chance that I could have prevented it. And
Shame on you.
yeah, I hate my younger self for falling victim. I know it's like you can't do that, but like I do. I hate myself for that. It's so stupid.
Oh
Yeah. Whatever. You live and you learn. You know?
yeah.
Yeah.
I think we're both in a interesting mood, contemplative mood this Christmas. By the way, to our viewers, we aren't, we didn't get to celebrate Christmas with you guys because we were with our families, and but
This was my
we love you.
first real Christmas. I spent last Christmas with my girlfriend's family, which was really fun. But it was like there was
Yeah.
just a lot happening. I wasn't able to like really soak it all in and do it like how I wanted to do it growing up.
Yeah.
And so this year,
Oh, fuck that. That sucks. Oh, you did it this
yeah,
year?
so this year we went all out. This
Good.
year we got the
Good.
big tree. We got Santa over here. We actually have two trees. We have like a smaller one that I accidentally bought. I thought it was supposed to be big, but it was actually really small. So we have two Christmas trees in the house, and we just did everything I
Nice.
wanted to watch all the Christmas movies, have the good food, and do all the presents and stuff. It was amazing.
Oh,
But I feel like the
I
reason,
love that. I had a great Christmas too, which was like I am, you know me, I'm like a very addictive person, and it's hard for me to like justify taking 2 whole days
mm,
out just for family. It's like I want to play video games, I want to get that next rank, I want to, whatever my routine is, I want to jump into it and get better at it.
mm-hmm,
And um for the last 2 days it was like God or the super ego or whatever, it was just like it's okay.
mm,
And I just spent it with family, and they're so fucked up sometimes, but it was so healing. Like parts of my family, like the in-laws that I didn't get along with, like we were getting along, and
yeah,
I was like practicing treating kids with kindness because I'm about to have one on the way, and it was just like all the relationships got a little bit better. It was
mm,
nice. I like I like it when like I go on vacation or do something that like feels like official,
mm-hmm.
and then I can just like do whatever's not my routine.
That's a hard thing to learn how to do. How to like kind of step away
Yeah.
from something that you're like really addicted to and you really want to get into. And I
Hmm.
feel like for the past handful of months, I've been really getting to learn how to just step away. It's not easy.
Yeah.
It is not easy because you know that computer's sitting right there and you could just hop right on and get sucked into your world. But I've been trying to teach myself step away. step away.
It's, yeah. Being with family has been so rewarding for me.
Mm-hmm.
I hope everybody who's watching has done that as well.
Yeah.
Or, I hope that you had your own special time, whatever it looks like.
Yeah. What is family like to you now that like your family's kind of splintered? You have your brother. Is your brother nearby?
He's in
He's in
Texas.
Texas. Your dad passed away. Your mom's nearby. You have like what is family like to you now as you're older? Like does it?
Phone calls and texts are more important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm. And do you?
And kind
Yeah.
of, yeah.
It's easy for me because
Taking the
we're
higher
all
road, I
here.
found, is like
Mm-hmm.
really, taking the higher road, I feel like is like really necessary because like families don't always get along. And so being able to say, like, even if I don't like the way you're treating me or have treated me, I'm going to give myself permission to be nice to you
Mm.
no matter what. Like that opens the gates up to like healing.
All right.
But that's the work, like for me right now, is like I think I kind of lost my path a little bit, and so I hold on to resentments and anger, and it's like I'm working on myself to forgive people even when they don't say sorry, or
Hmm.
I don't want to hold any resentments.
Hmm. Kind of ties back to
That's my
the
Christmas,
teachings of Jesus in a way,
or who I thought
or who you
Jesus
thought he
was.
was.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's be kind to thy neighbor or whatever.
yeah.
Hmm. Christmas brings out the
How about
good.
you?
Yeah. No, family's here. I mean, when I moved down to Florida, it was this whole plan that we'd all be here. Like, we wanted to kind of like bring the family back together, and we have it. It's really nice. We're gonna be even closer soon when I move in the coming months. It's been great, dude. It's been really nice to be close to them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can tell it means a lot to you, and I'm
Yeah,
glad.
it does. And it's not like I'm on top of them or like we're. It's just knowing that they're nearby is really nice. Knowing that they're, a drive away is really comforting and reassuring. And I think people that are feeling something missing, and if their family is a little bit far away, there's a chance that just the comfort of them being near you is missing. Sometimes it's just
Hmm.
the distance kind of does it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm lucky that we're all close now. Yeah.
Hmm. Well
Yeah.
said.
Christmas, man.
Oh, I have your gift here.
Oh, did you open it?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I haven't opened it yet.
Oh, let's look at it.
It's so lovely, very thoughtful.
Oh, yes. So
So it,
I got you Baby Yoda because that has been your profile picture on Discord for eternity. For a really long
yep.
time. And Baby Yoda is this sweet little creature who is a giving character, innocent, pure. That's you. That's you, Marston. You are the child.
Thank you.
Yep. You can add it to your collection.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna put it right next to the other fellows on my desk.
That's great. Well, this was a wonderful Christmas episode. I feel like we touched on some really nice subjects that I think are important. Family, Jesus, traditions, all the fun stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I love the
I love your
holidays.
decorations and I love the spirit of your apartment.
Thanks, man. You got to go all out for Christmas. That was the one thing that I was always envious of growing up was just you guys had lights.
Oh,
You guys had lights.
never gets old looking at them.
Oh my god. Now I'm into them and I'm a nerd about it a little bit now. I got C7 lights. Those that know C7s, you know what I'm talking about. Those are old school big bulbs. They're kind of like they're
Yeah.
they're Whoville Grinch looking bulbs, like very big
Mm-hmm.
bulbs, and I love those. I love Christmas, guys.
Yep.
It's the best holiday. And I got my Grinch.
Agreed.
I got my Grinch cup.
Love it. I want to watch Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. before the end of the year.
Yeah, we watched some of the claymation ones. They're really cool.
Yeah,
They're really fun.
yeah.
I like those.
The Yeti.
Yep. All right, man. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
You too, man.
Bye.
Bye.